we also want to include the lean modifications and renovations we've made in the existing?
I mean, the only comment
that
I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, the only comment that I would say is that's been a overall cultural initiative for us throughout the campus. I would say that Building M was specifically designed around using lean principles, and I think that was the first building that's really been designed around that. Everything else we've kind of gone back and really started to focus on how do we lean out our processes, how do we update laboratories and those type of things. And I'm actually more than happy. Maybe we should do that. I'll swing you by a couple labs and show you kind of some of the things that we've done on that also.
Yeah. So we started the whole lean process with renovating some labs here in the existing building, but then really the focus on Building M is to infuse those principles throughout the entire building, given the opportunity to start from the ground up.
And maybe learn from your experiences renovating.
Absolutely.
Employing lean in some of the existing labs.
It is. You know, the fun part about it is the fact that we've got, again, 60 plus years of experience of how to run a laboratory. And so I would say that this was probably one of the first times that we've taken all of those learnings and said, okay, what are all the things that what's our wish list of what to build? And let's go actually build that and employ those type of things. So even from, you think about, I've got a sample, how do I get into the lab, right? Well, it's all automatic doors versus actual, I actually have to open a door handle and those type of things. Just little things like that, even where windows into the labs are placed and the height of those windows and those type of things. So there's a lot of little subtleties that we've had throughout the years. And then on top of that, one of the unique kind of noteworthy features that we're putting into Building M is a massive clean room. So this is not something that we've done in the past, but this is really for microbiology. Not only medical device microbiology, but also on the biopharma. One of the things that we found was from sterility testing we're starting to see products that are much larger in nature and a little bit more difficult to handle. And so how do we now start to have capability in order to be able to really take some of these unique products and being able to handle them and test them accordingly. And so we've made a massive investment on the microbiology side also.
Do you, this building was, I guess, designed and constructed with current clients in mind or future clients perhaps, or taking a look at the market itself? I mean, I'm always curious as to how, is it, what came first? Is it, current clients are demanding it, or is it the future of the industry and looking towards it and thinking that, we need to be ready just in case? I don't know, how is it funded and how is, you don't have to get into the dollars and cents, but, how is, is the cart before the horse or the chicken and the egg type thing? How is it?
So it's a great question. So we have phenomenal partnerships with our customers, and so obviously we're constantly having discussions of, not only what are you working on now, but what's kind of the future state, and what would be the ideal situation of capability for us and processes that you would like to see. And so, you take a look at all of the investment that we're making from our IT infrastructure and our systems, along now with our structural. It's all kind of a big package together to sit there and say, okay, well, what do you need in the future? Not only that, but there's platforms where it's very flexible. So we have kind of fungible environments where now, depending upon what your needs are, I can now create an environment that is suited for your need, whether that's movement of equipment, new equipment, and you can appreciate the fact that the customer comes to us and says, look, we're doing this new type of product or this new type of testing that needs to be done, and it requires all this new type of equipment. Well, that has severe implications on a building between airflow, between power, and everything else. And we've really designed this building to have that flexibility. So very large open facilities where now you're not, kind of pigeonholed into, well, what can I actually just fit in this versus I've got all this flexibility. The ability to move equipment around where necessary at the point of use versus fixed in a location.
I assume that was probably a pretty daunting task, though, to try and imagine what might be coming. Yeah, I know you work well with your clients, but it's still up to you guys to design and build this building with enough flexibility to handle whatever may come down the pike.
It is, definitely. And the other advantage that we have now with additional space, we now have some open space where now we can tailor things specifically to customers if that is the need in the situation. But yeah, it's the building itself, as I said, is 168,000 square feet. There's 5 floors. A majority of it is built out, but we do have a good amount of open space where we do have that flexibility to build specific modules for customers.
Great. Okay. So we talked about. Are there any other specific services that?
So just a couple other services, right? So so one of the things that we are doing, we talked about the large micro area. We're really expanding our extractables and leachables group that does both pharmaceutical products and medical device, and really kind of state of the art equipment. Working on, again, quite a bit of the process flow there. We're also we also have a whole new area on our basically our method development, product testing for our small molecule, and it really is a very modern, again, facility that has completely redesigned our flow to be able to get product testing out the door quickly, efficiently, with the highest level of quality.
We talked a little bit about the area, and if you'd like to mention anything else regarding, the cultural development, the employee development, retention, and even, we can talk about that first, then we can get maybe, how this facility, how Eurofins, compares, what sets you apart from other companies that are doing similar things.
Yeah, so I think there's we can actually kind of combine those two a little bit. I think what sets us really apart are our people, right? At the end of the day, it's really about our scientists and our supporting staff and how they're dealing with our clients, servicing them, and getting work out the door. We're very well known in the industry from a high quality level and from a partnership that we really try to foster with our customers. And that doesn't happen without a phenomenal team, right? So I think just like everybody, there's always a challenge of how do you attract talent and how do you keep talent, right? And we really focus quite a bit on that. Not only do we think that this is a wonderful place to work, and it's just a great environment in the local area where you have a very rural and close-knit community, but we really are trying to work on some of the amenities for our folks that will, again, continue to move us forward into making this a wonderful place to work. So one of the things that we have in our new building is a brand new cafeteria, and really a step change in our food service here, which we found that everybody loves good food, right? And that it's actually a major issue with satisfaction. We have a on-site cafeteria. The reality is that we outgrew it years ago, and so now to really make a modern facility where people can have a more relaxed atmosphere, take a break, get some good food. In fact, even in the new building, we have outdoor seating area, a big patio with panoramic views of outside, and we have heaters out there, so you can be out there in the off season also. And so again, it's a much different feel. Very bright building, very colorful. Through our association, obviously owners with Eurofins, and they have their bright colors, being a European organization, and so we really tried to bring in a lot of that look in that feel. So you see a lot of oranges and blues over there, which is neat. And so So I think there's definitely a piece of that, and it also is kind of the foundation of how do we modernize all the other buildings that we have.